Frustration is rising for Knicks center Mitchell Robinson. In a recent media session, he vented his frustrations about his minutes restriction. New York also has to make a roster decision by today. If they don't, they will lose the ability to sign a player to this roster spot. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. If you enjoyed the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you have notifications on as well, too. We have a goal of trying to reach 50,000 subscribers, and your support means everything. And now, let's get started. Mitchell Robinson is frustrated with his minutes restriction. Mitchell Robinson recently returned, and he's looked very good. Very impressive, especially with getting the Knicks second chance opportunities and putting that fear in penetrators trying to come into the paint. But his defense, when he's out there, the Knicks look like a better defensive team each and every time. The only issue is he's not really out there often, and that's because he's on a minutes restriction. And that makes sense. He's coming back from an injury. Why wouldn't he be on a minutes restriction? Mitchell Robinson understands this, but he is absolutely frustrated with it. Shout out to Steph Bondy with the New York Post for giving us the following information. According to him, Robinson, who hadn't played in about 10 months before returning last week, dove on the court twice for loose balls against the Heat. He also converted on a putback and finished with 2 offensive rebounds in 13 minutes. According to Robinson, it's coming along, just taking time. First game, as y'all saw, tired as hell. Second game, not so much, but still a little bit. That's what's going to happen when you miss 10 months playing ball. Mitchell Robinson stated that he has a minutes restriction of 18 minutes, but the Knicks have cut him off at about 12 minutes in each of the first 2 games. According to Robinson, I think each week it goes up more and more. It's frustrating because it's hard to get into rhythm. What about diving for loose balls on that surgically repaired ankle? According to Robinson, get back to doing what I was doing before. I've been doing that for a while, not afraid to get down and dirty. Sometimes you gotta do it. Still, Mitchell Robinson was pulled early in the fourth quarter because of that minutes restriction, as the Knicks prioritize his long-term health and his availability come the postseason. Can't blame Mitchell Robinson for being frustrated with his minutes restriction. When he's out there, you can tell he wants to stay out there. He doesn't want to go to the bench. He wants to have an impact for his team. And he's right. When you're just starting to get right into the game and you're understanding your role and what you need to do out there, and then you get pulled, it ruins what you have going on out there. It ruins your rhythm. So I completely understand what he's saying. However, I completely understand what the Knicks are doing right now. We're in the regular season. We're not going to push Mitchell Robinson for the full extent of the time that we have him. That doesn't make sense. Let's work him back slowly. Make sure he has his legs underneath him, because we do not want to risk another injury to one of our key big men in Mitchell Robinson. We must prioritize his health and make sure he's available for the postseason, because let's get this right. Mitchell Robinson returning is more for the playoffs than it is for the regular season. The regular season is just to get him ready, prepared, and have him understand the chemistry with this Knicks team. That's what the regular season is for. So that way in the postseason, they're not wondering, experimenting with all of these lineups. They'll understand what lineups Mitchell Robinson thrives in. And that's why I understand exactly what the Knicks are doing. Is it frustrating? Absolutely. I want to see Mitchell Robinson out there for longer periods of time because I see it. The Knicks defense, it looks better. The rebounding, it's better. The second chance opportunities, it's better. I think we all remember last game against the Heat. Mitchell Robinson getting that second chance opportunity and then passing it out. Open 3-point shot. The Knicks convert and we're going on the other side. That possession does not exist without Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson holding down the paint himself. What does that do? Oh, yeah, it helps our wings. It helps our wings stay with their shooters so they don't have to go into the paint to collapse on defense because Robinson is there. It also helps to a degree on that end, but not fully because clearly, even though you have the aid, it's still up to the player to lock in, focus, and jump to that shooter. Sometimes we're not doing that. Oftentimes, we're still leaving shooters open, and that's a problem. Another thing the Knicks need to do is utilize our depth. But the problem is, since Mitchell Robinson has come back, we've actually went away from some of our depth. That depth meaning Precious Achiuwa. Shout out to the New York Post for giving us the following information. According to them, Robinson's return also pushed Precious Achiuwa out of the rotation. Achiuwa logged his first healthy DNP of the season on Sunday, 2 nights after he totaled just 4 minutes against the Memphis Grizzlies. I understand what the Knicks are doing here. They're trying to protect Achiuwa in case something goes wrong with any of their other players. While I understand that, it doesn't make sense. We are limited right now. We need our depth. We need to utilize our depth, especially players that are helping us. If you give Achiuwa significant time, he is going to give you great numbers. He's going to score. He's going to rebound. He is going to be able to block shots. He's going to be able to put a little bit of fear in penetrators trying to go into the paint. But one of the best things that he does is moving without the ball. We need a player like that in the rotation. He should be backing up OG Anunoby right now. Robbing the Knicks of a player like that doesn't make any sense at all. New York needs to utilize everything they have access to. Speaking of that, the Knicks also have access to another 2-way roster spot. But here's the thing. They must add a player to that spot today. If they don't, they'll lose the ability to sign another player to that roster spot for the rest of the season. Shout out to James L. Edwards with The Athletic for giving us the following information. According to him, the Knicks have until today if they want to fill their final 2-way roster spot. We have to remember, Shams of ESPN did report that the Knicks signed Marjan Beauchamp to one of their 2-way roster spots. So they have one more 2-way roster spot remaining. New York will likely add another player, or they'll sign one of their G Leaguers to that 2-way contract. I think Johnny Davis is a good candidate for that roster spot. I believe he checks all the boxes to earn that spot. And given where the Knicks are right now, they're limited with options. So they have Johnny Davis on the team. They just picked him off of waivers for the G League roster. So I think it makes the most sense right now to sign him to that 2-way contract. Only time will tell to see what the Knicks do, but I am excited because Leon Rose and this Knicks front office always have the Knicks' best interest in mind. But let's not forget, we still have that final open roster spot on the main team, and we need to fill that roster spot as well too. Tick-tock, because Moses Brown is still available. Another team is going to pick him up, sign him, and then I'm going to make a video very angry and very upset. To prevent all of that, New York, please sign Moses Brown for the rest of the season to the final roster spot. We are so thin at center. If an injury happens, we are not going to be able to recover from it. We have to prepare for that right now. The way to do that is to sign Moses Brown. Sign him now. Sign him immediately. Because if you don't, another team will. And if another team signs this man again, after the Pacers did, after Dallas did, and another team beats the Knicks to him again, I'm going to lose it. I am going to lose it. New York, sign Moses Brown immediately. We need more size on this team. And 7'2" Moses Brown, he is the answer, especially right now when the options are limited. But what about you guys? What do you think about Mitchell Robinson venting his frustrations about his minutes restriction? Let me know in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.